People are finally starting to wake up to something crucial, something I've been talking about for years. When Republicans wage a war against so-called cancel culture, when the right decries businesses making decisions about what's best for them because of backlash from the public, what they are criticizing, what they are fighting against is the very free market that they have been defending almost to the death. I mean, it's almost a religion for these people, the free market. And they've been doing it really since the Reaganization of Republican politics in the 1980s. This prayer at the altar of free market capitalism. And this exposes a deeper truth about the American right wing. Not only are they short on policy, as we've talked about many times, and not only do they simply play on values, even the values they play on are only relevant up to the point at which it becomes inconvenient. What I mean by that is they talk about the power and the efficiency of markets to guide economies and cultures and countries. They say markets are much smarter than government officials or politicians. But then, as we saw this week, when Dr. Seuss's publisher decides, here's 6 books out of a whole bunch, here's 6 books that we're going to stop publishing because some of the content doesn't really fit into what are considered acceptable sort of social norms and portrayals of minorities right now. That's a free market decision made by a for-profit company because they looked at public opinion and they said, let's make the decision that's best for our bottom line. And Republicans instantly throw their supposed values out the window and spend 3 days, and probably it'll be more, talking about the travesty of Dr. Seuss's so-called cancellation. So not only do they abandon their supposed free market principles as soon as they don't like the outcome dictated by the market, they also weaponize it into the very outrage porn that allows them to make money by covering this stuff on TV. It's not new that they abandon their values when it's inconvenient. This is just the latest way. Think back. When Democrats are in the White House, all they talk about is debt and deficit and the importance of balancing the budget. George W. Bush comes into office, among other things, gives tax cuts to the rich and goes to war, a really expensive war with the wrong country, and in so doing explodes the deficit, and they say nothing. But then Donald Trump comes into office and then cuts taxes for the rich, blows up the deficit again, and they say nothing at all. And yet, not only do they abandon their values when it's not convenient, they want to inject government into it when a market guides a decision that they don't like. And look at the trajectory on this Dr. Seuss thing. We are for free markets and keeping government out. This means you would imagine businesses do what they want as long as it's not illegal and the government stays out of it. Dr. Seuss Enterprises, which made more than $30 million last year, decides here's 6 books we will not continue to publish. They're not canceling Dr. Seuss. They're not burning books. They're saying here's 6 books we will allow to go out of print, but if you want to buy a used copy, you can go ahead. And all of a sudden, the sovereignty of business to do what it wants to do goes out the window. But not only that, Republicans, including people like Jim Jordan, the congressman, demand congressional hearings on cancel culture. Why is any of this the business of the federal government? Where is Rand Paul as a principled libertarian to say there is nothing for the federal government to do related to this? We should have no role here whatsoever. Hearings? No way in hell. These are private businesses making decisions however they want to make them. They're not breaking any law. So quite simply, the government should have no involvement whatsoever. The market, as they like to say, should be allowed to work its magic. If this decision by Seuss Enterprises is wrong, then the market will take care of it, period. If more people are mad about this decision than the number that like it, and they want to exercise their ability to participate in free market capitalism, they can say, well, I'm not going to buy any Dr. Seuss books anymore. I'll go buy whatever. I don't even know. And then the market will take care of it. This is their view, which they now are abandoning. But the truth is that this has nothing to do with their stated principles. What they mean by the free market is a market that pushes society and culture and institutions in the way they want it to be pushed. They don't like the way that the market forces are leaning right now in the direction of sensitivity to racial and ethnic issues. They don't like it. And that's fundamentally what this is all about. And this makes, I've said before, this movement that only wants to talk about principles. Principles are a great place to start. But when you only talk about principles, you enter what's called a philosophical black hole. And the really difficult work is figuring out real world situations. This is so one part of the principles movement that's bogus is that they very quickly abandon their stated principles when the outcome isn't what they want. But this is the other aspect of it, that when you only talk about principles, you end up with situations like this. They don't like it. That's what this is all about. And then this is also extraordinarily profitable for many. And that's what I want to talk about next. The more we learn about various diets around the world, the more we realize that some of the healthiest diets where folks are living the healthiest and the longest are heavily plant-based. And one of our sponsors, Just Egg, is a great place to start. Just Egg cooks and tastes just like real eggs, but it's made from plants. It has less saturated fat, no cholesterol, packed with protein. I've been cooking with Just Egg at home, and you can use it in so many different ways, just like traditional eggs, omelets, scrambled eggs, French toast, banana bread, one of my favorite dishes, pad thai. It also is better for the planet, generating 93% fewer carbon emissions and 98% less water than conventional eggs. You can find Just Egg at lots of grocery stores, Whole Foods, Kroger, Amazon Prime Now, and Instacart. Check it out. Just Egg really is a great product from a company with a great mission, and I'm really glad that they're a sponsor of the show.